Are you serious? It's getting serious. Get a cup of coffee, calm down, put another log on the fire because it's going to be a blizzard in the Northeast, and they are bracing for a ferocious snowstorm. We're looking at 18 inches of snow on New York, folks. Tens of millions of Americans in the Northeast enjoying one of the warmest winters on record are facing the ominous prospect of a massive, dangerous, ferocious, cataclysmic snowstorm tomorrow. Matter of fact, it could blast the region with up to 18 inches of snow, high winds capable of disrupting power lines, closing schools, and creating travel chaos. Folks, I'm not exaggerating. This is ugly. A powerful northeaster was forecast to track along the East Coast late tomorrow through Tuesday, with the National Weather Service saying strong winds with gusts up to 50 miles an hour may cause blizzard conditions along some of the coastal areas. And the Weather Service warned that any change in track could dramatically alter the amount of snow where it falls. So in other words, they don't know where it's going to fall, but it's going to fall. Okay, but there's little doubt that a big storm will explode on the region, according to Tom Kynes, the senior meteorologist for AccuWeather. Quote, a lot would really have to go wrong, he says, for the system to not deliver a ferocious punch. Matter of fact, Kynes told the USA Today, the reality is we are just hemming and hawing over snow amounts. Who gets 6, who gets 12, who gets 18? They really don't know. They just know it's going to fall. It might fall on you. That's why I'm saying prepare yourself up there. Blockbuster snowstorms in March, while not common, aren't unprecedented. 2 of the 3 largest, heaviest snowstorms in the Northeast since 1956 took place in March. And according to the Weather Channel, 1960 and 1993, the 1993 system, called the Storm of the Century, dropped a crippling snow totals from Florida to Maine and left 300 people dead and shut down travel for days. Now, that was 1993. So here we are facing this situation again. A wet, heavy snow combined with high winds could mean damage, trees, power lines, blocked roads in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York City, and the blizzards of Boston. And all of this could face direct hits, meaning airport disruptions could prompt flight delays and cancellations across much of the nation. So this could be ugly, folks. This could really be ugly. Now, today we had folks visiting us from Louisville, Kentucky. We had folks visiting us from South Jersey. We're praying for the folks from South Jersey because they're leaving tomorrow, leaving Annapolis Airport and flying to Newark, New Jersey. Just not good. Okay, just not good. But maybe, God's will, they could get in there just ahead of this thing. And I'm thinking they will. I'm praying they will. I'm thinking they will. But it's going to get ugly, folks. So Monday afternoon into the night, Tuesday, just check it out. It's going to get to be tough, all right? Now, I'll be back with more. Is HARP causing this? Because we got flooding and dams about ready to break in California, and we got chaos in Canada up there in Newfoundland with winds, folks, of 119 miles an hour. I mean, that's Category 2 hurricane winds, but it's not a hurricane. It's just, is HARP? They cranked HARP up again. HARP! Where's Al Gore when you're in the middle of a March snowstorm? Well, I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Don't miss tonight, Sunday Night Live. My guest, Russ Dizdar. Russ Dizdar. He's back. And we're going to be talking to him about, and he's got a message coming up for Dallas, Texas, the Hear the Watchman conference, opening Hell's Kitchen. I'm going to just ask him, could he crack it open? Can he just give us a sneak peek into Hell's Kitchen tonight? What has the devil got brewing? Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. Folks, we are running out of time. Are you serious? Are you serious? The winds are blowing in Newfoundland, Canada. And we're hearing from some of our online church up there asking for prayer. But there's Category 2 hurricane winds. It's not a hurricane, but that's how hard the wind's been blowing, the rain. There's damage everywhere, 40,000 people without power. Folks in the prayer closets. Also, while that's happening, here's a report. According to PAL Airlines and aerospace meteorologist Brian Walsh says that it's been 40 years since the sustained winds this strong have been recorded at the airport there in Newfoundland. He says that at 12:30 p.m., the airport recorded sustained winds at 106 kilometers an hour. The top speed recorded was 158 kilometers. That was the highest gust. And so it's crazy what's going on there in Newfoundland. We really need to pray for our brothers and sisters in Christ there. Meanwhile, the extreme weather conditions is coast to coast because, again, the rains keep coming down, the floodwaters keep rising, and the Oroville Dam is in jeopardy. And BP Earthwatch has got a very powerful video about this. You can check it out at his channel, at the BP Earthwatch YouTube channel. But certainly, the extreme weather conditions around the globe are off the charts, and they have not stopped. And they're getting worse. The big crack in the ground in Italy that's threatening 2 small towns. The unbelievable Hell's Mouth opening in Siberia, Russia, which is just off. I never seen anything like that, where the ground is literally opening up like the gates of hell almost. They're calling it the mouth of hell. There's just an unbelievable, apocalyptic, catastrophic, if we're not careful, cataclysmic extreme weather conditions still happening around the world. So we'll keep you up to speed. Don't miss tonight, Sunday Night Live. We'll be praying for everybody up there in Canada, all of our brothers and sisters in Newfoundland. We're praying for you. God bless. Don't miss tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. My guest will be Russ Dizdar. All right? So we got a lot to talk about. God bless all of you. Are you serious? Are you serious? They have found a massive statue, an ancient statue in Cairo, Egypt, of an elongated skull. That's right, of an elongated skull, a statue 26 foot tall. They believe it's of Ramses II, the famous pharaoh of Egypt. Matter of fact, let me just show you. Here's some of the, and Dabu 77 has got a great YouTube video on this. I'll put the link of that below. Also, NPR has a great full article on this. Here is the actual photo. This was taken by Getty Images, and there you see they have these huge cranes, backhoes. That's an actual backhoe. They're digging this thing out. There is part of the skeleton, actually statue, that they're pulling up. Not skeleton, statue. Okay, I'll show you some more information. The identification of this newly discovered colossus as the famous Ramses II is not yet confirmed, but it's believed to be him. Dr. Aman Ashmani, the head of the Egyptian team, indicated that they're going to now complete the research and excavation work of the remaining sections of this statue to confirm the identity of its owner. On the discovered portions, there is no inscription yet found that would make it possible to determine which king it is, but the discovery in front of the gate of the temple of Pharaoh of Ramses II suggests that it is likely him. Now, Amo Ashmowi and Derek Ra of the University of Leipzig have been working on this. Let me just give you, here's a side picture. That is of the skull. That's the ear, okay? That is the ear. And I'll show you the front of the face of the skull in a moment as they're digging this thing out. Unbelievable. It's made of quartzite. It's just an incredible, unbelievable. But here's what's going to blow your mind. Wait till you see this next picture. Ramses II is known as the Greeks of the Osmanes. Today, the name is most familiar thanks to the impassable passage of time, which was a romantic poet Percy Shelley wrote. But look at this. An Egyptian worker is standing next to the head of the statue of the site of the new discovery of what they believe could be a 26-foot tall statue made of quartzite of Ramses II. But look at this. Here's there it is. There it is. This picture taken by Getty's Images. Check this out, folks. Are you serious? That skull, what? Elongated skull. Makes you start to think about the days in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, where there were angels, the fallen angels, came and looked upon the daughters of men, saw they were fair, took from them wives as they chose, and they bore them giants, renowned men, giants of the land. And there has been already skulls found in Peru, And we know L.A. Marzulli's been involved in that. There's been skulls found in Mexico. There's been skulls found all over the world. Some of them with elongated skulls in the Middle East area as well as Peru. And here's a statue of probably Ramses II, certainly one of the pharaohs. There's his ear again, but you're looking at from the backside. That's his skull. It's an elongated skull. Unbelievable. We're going to check into more of this. Now, here's the situation. These different skulls that have been found and skeletal remains have been found historically over the years of giants that were probably in the neighborhood of 13 to 14 foot tall. And that shouldn't shock us. The Bible tells us that when Joshua and Caleb and all the spies went into the land of Israel to spy out the land of Canaan, they saw the Canaanites, this tribe of Canaanites, and they said, we look like grasshoppers compared to these guys. Well, if you're 6 foot tall like I am, and you look up at a man 14 foot tall, are you serious? Are you serious? You would feel like a grasshopper. And they have found giants all over the world, skeletal remains of giants, and every time the Smithsonian Institute comes and takes the skeletons away, and we never, ever see them displayed again. Now, they don't have a problem displaying the dinosaurs. They don't have a problem displaying the large dinosaur bones from many, many years ago, but they don't want to show you the Nephilims, the skeletal remains of these Nephilims and giants, because if they do, it blows the entire Neanderthal theory out the window. It throws Darwinism out the window, and it solidifies and proves the biblical narrative that there were giants in the land in the book of Genesis before and after the flood. And we know they were because after the flood is when Joshua and Caleb saw these giants and had to fight these different tribes, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amalekites, the Moabites, the Canaanites, all of these different tribal giants. And also David, the Philistine giant, he took down, of course, Goliath of Gath, which some believe was almost 10 foot tall. And of course, he had 4 other ugly brothers bigger than him. So they have to hide this. But now they find this statue, and the statue is of a pharaoh who had an elongated skull. No wonder there were these pharaohs of Egypt. And remember, the giants were around during the days of the pharaohs because the children of Israel were slaves to the Egyptians. And they had to break free on the Passover and then go through the wilderness, only to wind up at the Jordan River to cross into Canaan. And there's these giants. So no doubt Ramses, all of the Ramses and pharaohs were probably had the DNA of the Nephilims and had the intellect to build and the ability with the ancient understanding, the technology of the fallen ones. It's why they were such master builders. This is why they were such mighty hunters like Nimrod. So anyway, they're trying to hide this stuff from us. I'll be back with some more current world events, but it is certainly very fascinating finding. I really wish I could hear what L.A. Marzulli is going to say about this one. Are you serious? Are you serious? Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. We're living in the last days. That which has been hidden is being revealed. Are you saved? Are you serious? It's getting serious. Get a cup of coffee, calm down, put another log on the fire because it's going to be a blizzard in the Northeast, and they are bracing for a ferocious snowstorm. We're looking at 18 inches of snow on New York, folks. Tens of millions of Americans in the Northeast enjoying one of the warmest winters on record are facing the ominous prospect of a massive, dangerous, ferocious, cataclysmic snowstorm tomorrow. Matter of fact, it could blast the region with up to 18 inches of snow, high winds capable of disrupting power lines, closing schools, and creating travel chaos. Folks, I'm not exaggerating. This is ugly. A powerful northeaster was forecast to track along the East Coast late tomorrow through Tuesday, with the National Weather Service saying strong winds with gusts up to 50 miles an hour may cause blizzard conditions along some of the coastal areas. And the Weather Service warned that any change in track could dramatically alter the amount of snow where it falls. So in other words, they don't know where it's going to fall, but it's going to fall. Okay, but there's little doubt that a big storm will explode on the region, according to Tom Kynes, the senior meteorologist for AccuWeather. Quote, a lot would really have to go wrong, he says, for the system to not deliver a ferocious punch. Matter of fact, Kynes told the USA Today, the reality is we are just hemming and hawing over snow amounts. Who gets 6, who gets 12, who gets 18.